This one guy ain't on the social media yet. What's up with that, homie?
I like that you said yet. Like it's like, oh, he's waiting for the opportune moment.
I know, 12 years. 12 years after it was launched, Brad's like, I might try this Twitter thing out.
If you average Mike's and my activity on social media, it's about normal.
That's true. That's true. You are selective. You are selective. But I like that about you, Mike. When you choose to post, you post important.
Sorry, I was actually halfway between listening and posting something just now.
Which is pretty much our entire relationship.
Hey, take it easy, Zane. That's not entirely true.
Did you see how he had that locked and loaded and ready to go? Like he was like, where's the first zinger coming from?
I mean...
Oh, I got zingers today.
I know you do. It's really nice to see you. Can we get like an old-fashioned radio-friendly round of applause for our guest because we are live. As if to prove this fact, we are live with Mike Shinoda and Brad from the band Linkin Park right now. And
this is the first time you've had me down here.
It was the first
I'm a little salty about it.
I mean, I haven't seen you for like
There's a good vibe going on
years.
here, and I don't know why you've kept me out of these four walls.
Why did things go quiet with us? We were early.
It got a little awkward after we got coffee that time.
Yeah,
and
I know. And then it was like
an unrequited thing.
And then I went through a Phoenix phase, and that was fun for a bit. And then Joe showed up for a couple. Mike's been the constant all the way through. Mike is my bosom buddy in Linkin Park.
All those letters I wrote you, no response.
Hey man, I'd moved house, and by the time I got them, it was like
that's what your assistant told me.
It was like MASH. You know, by the time I got them, you know what I mean? It was a sob story.
You guys, this is riveting radio. I just want to let you know as a listener.
Whoa, are you marking us this soon? Normally it takes you 10 minutes to mark me.
I'm just saying, Brad is like run away with the whole show here.
Yeah, see?
I know.
He missed me. He missed this whole...
This is the reason he's not on social media.
Yeah, right.
Because he'd just be making up stories about getting coffee and going to, I don't know what.
I've always thought this was a problem with Linkin Park, ladies and germs, is there's so much intelligence, so many good looks in the band. How do you prioritize? How does it work, you know? One of the most handsome guys in the band is behind the drum kit, which is standard rock star behavior, by the way.
That is standard. What is that? Isn't that weird?
It's so weird. Brad Wilk, super good looking drummer, right? Tony from At the Drive-In, mad handsome drummer. Like, what's up with that?
I saw Taylor from Foo Fighters at an Italian restaurant.
Cute as a button.
No shirt.
No shirt.
I was sitting,
great torso. Drummer.
I was eating dinner and I looked over and I thought it was. First, I thought it was. I thought it was like a model. Like I thought he was like a male model. But like I thought
that you recognize it. You're like, wow, that guy looks like a male model. I was like, I felt like, oh, is that the guy from like some campaign or something? It's like, oh no, that's the drummer. That's the drummer from Foo Fighters.
Very handsome man.
Drummer. Yeah. What's up with that?
We could never be drummers because we don't exist on that plane.
You have other qualities.
Thank you, Zane.
Mike, you have many other qualities.
Appreciate that.
As fans will attest now.
He's beautiful on the inside.
Oh, no, come on now, that's rough.
Dude, I just saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and what did you think?
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing between what's his name, Drax or whatever, and Mantis is that he's just like, no, you're disgusting to look at.
Beautiful on the inside. Drum and bass remix. Pull up, selector. Pull up. All right, Mike Shinoda. All right, Brad. From the band Linkin Park right here. It's good to see you.
What?
That song called Invisible, taken from an album called One More Light, mere hours away.
Dude, this is the first time we've had this album in our hands.
Where's the cover?
The physical CD. Where you guys can't see this because it's radio.
I hate to break it to you, Brad, it's unfinished.
It's missing something.
It's missing a cover.
Yeah.
Right,
no, we have
deconstructed
physical CDs and vinyl.
A gift.
Is this for me?
We got vinyl for you, Zane.
Dude, this looks beautiful.
The craziest thing with that vinyl is the deadlines on that vinyl were like 9 months ago.
It takes
they're
so
like,
long.
They're like, okay, so the deadlines are next week. We're like, but the album's not coming out for 7 months. They're like, we gotta make vinyl.
There's a queue because there's only so many plants, right? This is for the kids who need to know. Only so many record, vinyl plants.
But it's dope.
And people want it.
But it turned out dope.
And it looks fantastic.
Now I'm
Dude,
stoked.
and I love the etching on it as well. It's so nice. Good to see you spending some hard-earned money on something that really matters. Because people need to know.
That's $1 million.
Man.
That's a 7-figure etching.
It's not cheap. It's funny because I spoke to someone when vinyl was just getting that tipping point again, and people were like, "Oh, we're going to manufacture vinyl, gatefold sleeve," and I'm like, really? How's that going to work out for you? He's like, at a loss.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
basically.
But it doesn't matter because it's beautiful.
We've calculated if we sell 6 million vinyl copies of the album, we will only have lost $700,000.
I love that you do the math like this. It's so good. This is a beautiful thing. I'm holding it. I love the photo. Where did the photo come from? I want to know the origin of the artwork.
So we actually we have worked with a lot of different artists on different things, but one consistent kind of piece of the puzzle has been our art director Frank Maddox, who's been at Warner Brothers before. He was doing records with Warner Brothers before we ever got there. He did he's done Deftones the entire time, and just a really great artist designer. And this is the first time he has taken a photo that's ended up on the cover.
So it's his photo.
He took this photo, and it was like, as I recall, it's like his friends and family down at the beach here in California. And I could be wrong about some of that, but what I do know is that when I saw this picture, I was like, oh, that's dope. I didn't think like, oh, we're gonna like make this the cover of the album. I just said to him, I like that photo. And then Joe saw it and said the same thing. And then I had like sent it to Brad. I was like, look at this, look at all these images that Frank has. And he said, like, look at that photo. So it just like organically became the cover.
It's great.
It's the first time that's ever happened. Like usually we're tearing our hair out, trying to get the right cover and the right album title and all that. And a lot of stuff on this one just kind of fell into place.
What I really like is you took your time, because we caught up in the studio last year. I mean, it was definitely last year. And I felt like the records were in great shape. And it was only at the end, and it was with both of you that you were kind enough to invite me down to hear some songs that you were like, no, we're way off. We're way off. We're still searching, trying to find the heart and soul of this record.
Yeah, you know how it is for us. Like, I know you had Vince Staples on earlier, and you guys said, like, how long did it take you to make this record? And it's like 15 minutes. I wish my life was
He's
like that.
annoying like that, though.
That would be amazing. But the thing is, like, it does take you a lifetime to get to the point where you can walk in and
I literally
put a verse
forgot
down.
we were doing an interview. I'm just looking at the CD booklet.
I love that I have that effect on you.
I completely forgot what we were doing. This is the first time I've held this in my hand.
Well, let me remind you, Brad, for the first time in 17 years, we're face-to-face in an interview environment, and already you're just
were you
saying
guys
the most
saying
lovely
something good
thing.
that I just totally torpedoed that?
Yeah, we were in the middle of a conversation.
All right, carry on.
Okay,
carry on.
So I don't know.
We have Mike Shinoda and Brad from Linkin Park here. Good to see you, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
How's it going, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. I have a feeling this might be my first and last time here at the studio.
Probably. Do you remember Battle Symphony? Do you remember playing me that in the studio?
Yeah, I do. And you were, I think was it that one or Nobody Can Save Me? You're like, just go all the way.
It was this one.
Yeah,
it was.
We've
This one.
always been supportive of the band, but the one, if I can be candid,
Please.
the one thing when people ask me how's Zane in real life, and what I'll say to them is, he's very reserved. Like, I just wish he were sometimes more demonstrative.
Please go on.
Yeah.
If anyone has seen the footage of you, I don't even know if we put all the footage of you from the moment when you were in there.
Yes, I just faded Mike and Brad down. It's that kind of day. We're joined live in the studio right now, and I can safely say this. My old friends, man. I've known you guys for a long time, right at the very beginning. I remember that first King's College show. Do you remember that when you first came out?
That's crazy, man. That was, it was just like, that was a point when we were like, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't even have enough music.
I think you did.
We didn't even have enough music to play a proper headline set yet.
That's true. That is true.
We would show up, Alpha Hybrid Theory, people be like, okay, you guys are the headliners now. We're like, that sounds great. How long is our set? They're like an hour and a half.
You guys have like 49 minutes of
our
music.
Our album's like 26 minutes long. So how many times do you want us to play it?
You're one of those bands that comes on and starts with One Step Closer and ends with One Step Closer.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to learn some covers, boys.
I'm just trying to remember who had what color hair. Yours was red?
At that time, I might have been, yeah.
Yours was red, definitely. I just remember you guys coming out and that record sounding so complete and so huge for such an early stage. And
thank you.
We're so excited you're back with this brand new record, and what an amazing sort of experience you've had. I mean, a lifetime's worth of experience right here with this band.
Can I get emotional?
Please.
I was going to get super emo right now.
I listened to this record from beginning because someone ripped it and threw it up online.
Thanks very much.
So I listened to it from beginning to end last night, not having heard it in a couple of months, and it really took me somewhere. We spent a year and a half making 30 minutes of music.
Yeah.
And I was literally just
almost
thinking,
40, almost 40.
Yeah,
Like
almost
30,
40.
36 or something.
But I was thinking, like, who in their right minds would spend 487 days making 35 minutes of content?
A bunch of guys who
And-
really care.
Yeah, we must really care.
You really
we
care.
must really care. And I do remember you coming down to the studio when we were making it. It really was one of the pivotal moments for us where we didn't play. We don't really play stuff for people when we're
And I
making
don't
it.
often go in during process because it can be pretty awkward for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it can be.
But having you in there and just feeling the energy, and now having a little distance from it and just kind of enjoying it, taking the chef's clothes off,
Yeah,
right, and
yeah.
just getting the food into our mouths. I'm really just enjoying this as a listener, and I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Well, congratulations. You guys deserve every second of that sense of satisfaction because it does take time for you guys to make a record, and especially to want to focus on the songs. You've always been songwriters, but then you've always been, studio rats as well, and people who love the creative process and love drum sounds and love to be able to mix things around. And you've made a much more widescreen sounding record that seems to, surround the ambition of these songs. It's like with songs as big, you can do one of two things. You either strip it right back, and you put the song on display, and you're like, this is it, right? Naked and emotional. That's where it's at. Or you go, we have to really dress these up in clothes and make them look good. You know what I mean? It feels like that's what you've really done with this record.
Yeah, I think most of the songs on the record are that way. That what you said. We really went in with, if you think of it like painting, it's like a wide range of color. And really, took our time crafting what the soundscape was, what the lyrics were, what the melodies were going to be. I mean, even to the extent that we went through every song and said, does it need to be a BPM or two, faster or slower? And we tried that, and we listened to it. A semitone or two higher or lower in pitch. Does Chester sound better on it that way? So it was like a lot of that trial and error stuff. And at the end of the day, I know the guys are really proud of the record and happy to be playing. We're out on tour. We just played our first tour in Latin America.
Yep.
We're about to hit Europe. And whereas normally we put like 3 songs. Probably how many do you think? 3 new songs in a set normally?
Yeah,
two,
maybe,
3?
maybe 2 or 3.
And this time we've already started with 6.
Incredible.
Yeah, and we haven't cut we didn't cut old songs to do that. We extended the set, kept all. I mean, if you come to see One Step Closer or In the End or Numb or whatever, all those songs are in the set too, and we play the new stuff too.
Congratulations, man. Touring album's out today. It's very exciting. They're hours away. Mike's already gone on his socials and said, hey, who wants to hear a brand new song from this record? So you brought something to share.
And I didn't go on any socials. It didn't say anything.
No, you don't do that. It's not. You had a conversation back at around 2008, and you were like, I ain't feeling this whole transition into social media.
I
I'm gonna stay
typed up
right
a
here.
letter and I mailed it to somebody.
I
The
got
album's
that,
out.
and I got that, and added it to the pile that you've been sending me since 2001. All right, we're going to play a song right now, come back and talk about it. We're going to stay right here in One More Light with Linkin Park, and this one featuring Pusha T and Stormzy, some kind of transatlantic goodness. This is Good Goodbye. I'll put a little more reverb on it, listen.
That was epic.
You didn't want to put an extra tail on that?
Can I just get an EQ shelf at what do you think? What frequency?
I mean, it was a little bit bassy, that reverb.
Yeah. Give me a low
It was
shelf.
a little digital too. You could hear the.
If ever we wanted an insight into the party time of making a Linkin Park record, that is it.
That's
there.
some.
Give
That
me a
is some
sine
really.
wave
Save
at
it.
like 40 hertz.
Save that kind of nonsense for
You
Friday,
want the
bro.
sub. You want more sub.
Yeah, I want to boost it and then I want to filter
Hey
it.
guys,
got it.
it's Friday afternoon. Why don't we break out a little white wine and talk about EQ subs?
That sounds like
Okay,
that sounds like a party.
We've earned it. We've earned it. Brad and Mike live in the studio. This is a good day, man.
Oh, man.
This is a good day.
But that's how nerdy it gets for us. Like when we're mixing a record or when we're working on
He
something.
says when as if it's not nerdy all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I was
sometimes it's
specifically
nerdy.
thinking of the mixing part, but yeah, I
More
guess you're
nerdy,
right.
even more.
It's already unbearably nerdy the entire time.
Oh my god.
My-
the book, unbearably nerdy.
Honestly, my
autobiography.
wife, when we are at if we're at a party that any musicians are at. This happened. God, what was the thing? Where were we? So anytime we go to a party where there's musicians, you sit down. Inevitably, we get into that nerdy stuff. It's like all of a sudden we're talking plugins, we're talking gear, we're talking recording techniques, and you can just see like almost before it even happens, my wife's eyes start to glaze over, and she just looks. I'm gonna go get a drink. Do you guys need a drink? And just peace out. Just gone.
That's it.
Yeah, she knows because I will do that every time.
Look, sweetheart, I am as God made me. You knew this when you met me. I'm a massive nerd. Okay, I'm so sorry. This is how it is.
My dad is an engineer. He's an aerospace engineer. Like
he's actually a rocket scientist.
He worked on the space shuttle and an F-15.
He's actually a freaking rocket scientist. I mean, it's not rocket science. Well, it actually is.
It actually is. That actually was rocket science. And so yeah, it's like it's built in. Like it's just music version of it and less smart.
I was gonna say, you can compare yourself to a rocket scientist dad all you want, but you're still a rock star. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how you worked with Pusha and Stormzy, but I feel like that moment's kind of past, and we've got new music to talk about, which is the song called "Sorry for Now," which we're going to play for the first time proper on Beats One Apple Music. So thank you for bringing us in. Thank you for opening up your your brand new copy of your album and allowing us to play this.
We have debut sound effects.
Yeah, we do.
What's a debut sound effect?
Hang on, we do. I just got to find them. I have so many sound effects. Hang on.
Fire.
No,
Fire.
not that one. Hang on. Oh yeah.
Exclusive.
World first. World first.
World
First.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But it should go on forever and ever. It should be like 25 minutes of them where it's just
Infinite delay.
It's just literally like
Fire. Fire. Fire.
World first.
Exclusive.
There you go.
World first.
Exclusive. Exclusive.
World first.
Yes. Ladies and
And then you
gentlemen,
never hear the
brand
song.
new,
That was it.
brand new Linkin
Exactly.
Park. That was it.
it's like Chris Morris, when he had the opening of his TV shows, and it would just be like this 45-minute like introduction of like dramatic news effects that would just fly at you. Okay, we're gonna play this record for the first time anywhere in the world. In case you missed it,
Exclusive.
World first.
Exclusive.
smash, smash.
Like it?
One of my favorites, easily on the record.
So that was a song that Mike brought in early. I think he had written basically the whole song was intact.
Right.
And we loved the song, and then we wrestled with the arrangement of it for a while.
Yeah.
That went in a bunch of different directions, and it didn't really find a home until I think Black Bear came in.
Yeah.
And worked
Well,
on that.
what happened was we had those sounds in the very beginning. Like a lot of the keyboard elements in the song were there, and the beat I had done over it was just like this like kind of generic hip hop beat. It was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
And we had wanted to work with Black Bear we had like made this little list, like, who do you want to work with? And there was a bunch of different people anyway, long story short, he came in, and it was basically like we did the drop together and that marching snare beat. He and
this
friend
kid Andrew Goldstein, and we affectionately refer to the two of them as either Blackstein or Goldbear.
Right. Good. Both of those are very, very good, by the way. It's hard to find names in the Google age, and both of those are very strong.
They're a fierce duo.
Oh, they are. Yeah, and by the way, for the record, shout out to Black Bear. His solo record just came out, and it is exceptional. It is a banger.
It's great.
Yeah, you should play some Black Bear.
Oh yeah, you told me right at the start. Yeah, no, I'm getting more familiar. Appreciate the nod. Always looking to you guys for that. And
but the drop on that.
The drop. Oh, well, the thing that was so crazy too is that Brad, you came out of nowhere with that guitar thing. Like over this first half of the drop, it's very like electro.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, this like police guitar thing comes in. We all looked at each other like, whoa, like that, I've never heard that.
I think Andrew had a hand in that too. And I remember the four of us were in there, Andrew, Black Bear, you and me, and you guys, and it was one of the most fun moments. You guys were like, it needs hi-hats, but the hi-hats need to be off time. They need to be not in time.
Yeah.
And you guys were going back and forth. They're like completely out of time.
Well, they were
hi-hats.
doing this other they were trying to like put it in the computer, whatever. And I just pulled out my laptop and did this messed up hi-hat thing literally
on the keyboard
on a different tempo. Like the song, if the song is on like 85 BPM, I did it at 120.
Just
so
to
it
see how
had
it
nothing
felt.
to do with
Yeah,
anything. And I would plugged it in. I was like, what do you think about this? And just he hit play, and then I timed it out and hit play on the right on the downbeat. And they were like, what?
That's called couture. That's what that's called. It's called couture.
It was fun, man. It was super fun.
It's a banger, man. I love it. Thank you for sharing that around the world. If you're listening in, and people are all around the world right now to Linkin Park, we have Brad and we have Mike hanging out. How are the rest of the guys? Is everyone in good form?
They're good, man.
They're
good.
great. They're great. We had a great time in South America. Played 4 shows down there. the thing that's so crazy about the world that we're living in now is we debuted a song live, the song "Talking to Myself," at essentially a metal festival in Argentina on a Saturday, and I think two or 3 days later at our next show in Santiago, the song's not even out nowhere. We just played it once. The whole crowd jumping, knew every word, sang every word the second time we played it.
Wow.
Like, how do you even wrap your head around that?
It's called a leak. So shouts to the person who put that up online and let everybody hear it before you guys adjusted.
I mean, but that's why we played it live. But
Yeah.
then the fact that they all found it and learned it was so bonkers.
I mean, come on, guys. You've been making music now for, what is it, 17 years. You've been releasing records. To 2000, you greeted us at the turn of the millennium with Hybrid Theory. And you've seen the passion that your fans. Look at these people who are online right now, Franco saying no words to that song. Wayne, absolutely beautiful, loving it. Nicole New, loving it. People are online. They still love you guys, and they want you guys to go and continue to create. We're going to come back and continue to catch up with Brad and Mike as long as they're willing to hang out. Mike just took his shirt off, so chances are he's settling in for the day. But who wants to hear Brand New Boat? How about you, Sam, Mike?
Ew.
It's disgusting.
That's nasty.
Disgusting.
I had not heard that song.
It's behind you. You know what I mean? It's
Ugh.
behind you. It's when you know when you're walking somewhere, you just feel your skin crawl a little bit because you're not quite sure if it's a coyote or if it's a spirit, but it's something out there. You're not quite sure what it is. That's that record that's out there. It is disgusting. That is X-Men featuring Evander Grimm. Little Yachty is today's world record. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. What people don't realize right now is that every time a record comes on, Brad leaves. So basically, he's only friends with me on the record. That's pretty much all it is right now.
I'm still reeling from this. I mean, I know we're joking about this thing that happened where, I feel like I reached out, I poured my heart out to you, and it's a one-way street.
Okay, I'm gonna clear this up once and for all. I'm gonna clear this up once and for all. You've always been one of my favorites. You'll remain one of my favorites.
Dude, your eye contact is so strong right now.
So strong, because I mean it from the heart.
Is his eye contact like a Jared Leto eye contact?
Oh,
though?
there's nothing like a Jared Leto eye contact.
No. There's
nothing like a Jared Leto eye
I'll
contact.
put you on with Jared.
But what about when
I'll
Jared...
put your eye contact on with Jared.
Thank you. But what about when Jared looks off to the distance? When he breaks eye contact, he does this one. He'll look at you and he'll go, "It's great to see you, Brad." And he'll look at you and then he'll go, "We should go hiking."
Dude, you know what else he does? He's a master of the perfectly timed touch on the arm.
Very much so.
If you have not experienced this, he'll be talking to you, and you could be talking about that hike. And he's like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna go on this hike."
And here it comes.
And then gently touch your elbow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
And it's like one of those moments in a sci-fi film where you just travel through time and you end up on another planet.
The first time he did it, I think it was the first time I met him, and he did that to me. He gave me the touch on the arm, and I was like, "Yo, why is he touching my arm?" What just happened? Are these advances? Am I getting advanced on
You should
right
have looked
now?
at him and be like, "Touch me again, I'll kill you, bro."
Why did you do that to me?
I love when he touches me on the
Yeah,
arm.
me too.
I'm
I got no
so
problem with it.
uncomfortable
I got no problem
I
with
melt.
it. I got no problem with it. He's one of the only guys I know who can let himself go astray, like literally looks-wise, let himself run ragged, and he still holds it down.
Yo, how
How's that
amazing!
possible?
In that Blade Runner, you seen the Blade Runner?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Like I didn't know he was gonna be in that, and that trailer came out, and I was like, dude. He's like the Babe Ruth of this shit at this point. Like
Really
it's
is.
just like you're
really
just
is.
hitting him. Hit him out the park.
Hit him out the
Jared, go
park
ahead.
again.
That's fine.
Again and
Go
again
ahead
and
do
again.
that.
I don't know if I should say anything, but I'm just going to say something. You
What
might be
happened?
mad at me.
What happened?
Well, there's Mars is coming, right?
Oh yeah,
Mars is coming.
That's right.
Mars
That's
is
right.
coming.
I don't know anything about it.
Mars is
People
coming.
know that Chester and Jared we're all friendly and stuff. I have not heard anything. I do not know anything. You know more than I do.
I
so.
do.
Yeah. Did you hear that? You heard songs?
Good to see you guys. And
See, you just did that to Vince Staples earlier today.
I know.
Just put him in the corner.
Yeah.
Tell me things. Give me information.
Yeah.
And I just turned it around on you accidentally.
I know.
about that.
I enjoyed it. We're hours away from this album becoming official, all around the world and getting its global release and the touring, in Europe. And then you will literally sort of, I guess in some respects, put this experience of making, One More Light into life.
Yeah.
And you'll move on into the future again and keep pushing forward. How do you feel? I mean, we've got you live in the studio. The LP Association, all your fans in Romania and around the world are tapped in and listening. How do you feel hours? Some parts of the world have heard this record, so reactions are coming in, but other parts are still waiting. How do you feel now in the middle of this? It's like the eye of the storm.
It feels like we're about to give birth, but without the pain. the physical.
I don't know, man. Some of these
barbaric.
Careful, Mike.
Some of these.
Careful, Mike.
some
You
of
have a
these
wife who's
trips-
given birth. Careful.
Oh yeah, that's not like that. No, I know about all.
I don't know, Brad. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been there for the birth of my child, and
It wasn't painful.
Yeah, I didn't
Very.
feel any pain really. Yeah. No, we were. I think it's funny because we're like
That was a metaphor, by the way.
oh, we got it.
That was pregnancy as a metaphor.
Hang on. We got it. Thank you.
That's the bomb. You just let the bomb go off for the pregnancy metaphor. That's what just happened. That's how nerdy it gets when we get in the studio. That's where we lower the bar. That
I was
far.
about to slip into my old friend Tim Westwood's voice and just be like, "Yeah, Brad from Linkin Park hit us with the old school pregnancy metaphor."
Let's just put it this way: on a day as momentous as this,
Where is the artwork, bro? I can't take it seriously without the artwork in
On a
it.
showing
day-
you the CD with
It's
no
just
cover
literally
on.
a plastic cover. It's a plastic. You're holding this thing like it matters. This is a piece of plastic right now.
Sticker with a CD behind it.
on a day as momentous as this,
Yes.
Zane,
Yes.
there is no other place we would rather be.
Oh,
That's heavy. Didn't want to put a tail on it like that. I'm just saying. It's a nice big long 40-second tail on the end of that.
it's a lot of explosion.
It's been good to see you, Brad. It's been too long, probably too long on the
I
record.
feel like we're back.
We're back.
I feel like you and me.
We're back.
This was the moment we needed.
I would Jared Leto touch your arm right now if I could reach you.
I don't even think reconciliation is the word. I think it's romance.
Sometimes
and
you
I
s-
think it's real.
Sometimes you just have to acknowledge what is real.
Sometimes you just have to accept it
This is real.
into your heart,
Yeah.
into your soul.
Can I say you look more handsome today than you did the first time I met you?
I'm more
You
drawn
aged
to
so
you.
well.
I am more drawn to you now than I've ever been drawn to another man in
You
my
guys
life.
want us to leave?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're
I mean,
good.
there's
I want
it's
you
just
to
a
share in
big
this.
crowd in here.
I want you all to
this
share
is
in this
getting all
moment.
this is all
Now,
getting
This is
really
like
weird.
this is like a love triangle with only 2 points. It's a love line.
which sounds like a show.
That's another show.
That's a whole other show.
That's not the show. We're not on. That's not the show we're on right now.
It's been a crazy show today, though. You know, we had Vince on, and we had Boat, and we've had you guys hanging out for the better part of an hour. And in many respects, it's been really really reaffirming and really important, I think, to stay in the moment and to celebrate music and to celebrate the company that we keep here at Beats Apple, because we love the fact that we have access and be able to share these moments with you. But obviously, you know, overnight, you know, it was a really, really sad news with the passing of Chris Cornell, who I know that you guys have you know, had gotten to know throughout the years being fellow musicians. And it feels kind of like, in some respects, this album deals with, you know, loss and the reconciliation of loss in some respects.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we were kind of talking about that, and I know Chester tweeted something this morning. I was in the car. I didn't get a chance to see it, but you know, we spent months with Chris on the road, played shows with him. He came out on tour with us for a while, got to know him pretty well. And I mean, you know, I only had good experiences with Chris. And so yeah, the news is really
It's devastating. And Chester and he were really close.
And we all, I think all of us also like really looked up to, like, grew up on his music, you know, like Soundgarden was one of my favorite bands when I was a kid, for sure, like without a doubt. And so yeah, to be able to meet him, it's like sometimes you meet somebody that you look up to and you go like, wow, like that person actually lived up to the thing that I thought of them, and he was one of those guys.
Like I said, I felt like when I was listening to his songs, because he looked like such a rock star.
Yeah.
The charisma. The first time I ever met Chris, I didn't really tell any personal stories during the 30-minute tribute we did before the show began, because I just wanted to focus on the music. But the first time I met him, man, I mean, it was full man crush. Like, I mean, the guy walked in the room and it was like super unknown era. The hair was spiky and the beard was right, and he was just so eloquent and so deep. But then, you know, when you listen to his music, you realize that despite the fact that he was blessed with all this charisma and all this amazing aura around him, that there was a darkness and he was unafraid to sing about it. And that's the thing, man. You know, he took us into a place, you know, where you know, like I said, I don't think we felt so alone listening to Soundgarden records and Chris Cornell songs.
Yeah. And as you said earlier, you know, I feel like too, it's like I feel like I have to have a certain level of like reservation about talking about it publicly, especially like it's just people, because your words could get twisted or whatever. And I just I wouldn't want to like mess that up, you know, because we had these wonderful experiences out on the road together and all that. I also would say, like, in terms of our album, just the what you said in the beginning of it, that there have been moments on this record where we did personally on our behind the music, not part of the songs, we were dealing with some really dark stuff, and we did have friends who passed away while we were making the album, and we actually wrote a song about it. There was a day when we had a friend just shockingly pass away, and wrote a song called One More Light. And it deals with loss. But the key, and especially it's a good thing to remember at times like these, like the key to that song for me is that the chorus of the song goes, who cares if one more light goes out in a sky of a million stars? Because sometimes it feels that way. The punchline, the end of the chorus is, I do, I care. The reason that was so important for me in the way that song came together was that I feel like in times like these, when you feel hurt, you feel lost, you can't deal with that. And you or if you're friends with somebody that you know is going through it, the most important thing you can do, you might think to yourself, oh, I'm going to let them have space, deal with their stuff and whatever. I think the most important thing you can do is to reach out to somebody and let them know, hey, I can't feel what you're feeling, but I want you to know that I care, that it hurts. I want you to know that I care, that you're going through something horrible. And that's what that song is about. That's when the song became part of the record, and then we just knew it was such an important message and a central message to the album. We decided to name the whole album after One More Light. So I feel like for me, all that weird stuff, I hope I kind of said it the way I want to feel, the way I feel it, but it's all mixed up together today.
The beautiful thing as well is, and that was really like beautifully but you have music and you make music to do that too. And so did Chris, so many amazing songs. At this moment of a celebration for you as you finally release your brand new album, hard-earned and rewarding for fans and for yourselves, safest of travels on the road. We sincerely appreciate you joining us live in the studio today. It's been really fun to be able to reconnect with you in a live environment and not in this sort of pre-recorded, let's get it and put it out later moment. It's always better.
Thank you for having us. This was really, really special.
It was special for us too. All right, and if it's all the same to you, and I'm sure you won't